Thank you very much, Jenkins. Yes, looking forward to this. Gaming Gladiators versus Shopify Rebellion. Folks, already we're getting exciting stuff here from the new stand-in here for now, at least for Shopify Rebellion. Mikey's coming in, bringing the Dawnbreaker to the mid lane. We don't get to see this hero in this position every day.
No, we definitely don't. He played it yesterday, especially in a pub. It wasn't actually versus a Pango, but you can see the idea versus it. I like the couple things that Effie was saying there toward the end. I think the first few levels definitely could look pretty successful. Those, of course, the stat advantage that Dawnbreaker has and stuff to secure range creep and stuff in mid lane should look pretty good. But Pango's still a pretty broken hero. So we'll see after those first few levels what's going to end up happening, and we'll see what Crit's going to be able to do. I also liked how Effie was talking about maybe setting up for that initial tri-lane to secure this TB's lane. Perhaps could be something that Shopify is looking at, but I prefer Gaming's. I think it's very easy to play aggressive with their draft. They have tons of magic damage, tons of ways to put pressure on pre-BKBs, and, I mean, it's Gaming. They've looked so good lately, so let's see if Shopify is going to be able to endure that with their stand-in.
Absolutely, yeah. Going to be very exciting to see these two regions clash here and see who's able to take it.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how these... I'm just, where Crit's going to start. Looks like at the moment he will probably start bottom, but does have boots early to see if he is going to be roaming around, setting up for stuff. And let's see how much Crit's going to do also, because every time I think most people when they're talking about Shopify, it's either Abed or Crit that they talk about a lot with like the early movements, and then maybe Arteezy's going to carry later on after that. This is not in particular the easiest Clockwork game. He's playing versus, of course, the lift from the Rubik. He's playing versus a Nature's Prophet who can sprout himself out of the cogs. He's playing versus Cookie. So a lot of different things that can displace away from those cogs early on. Yeah, mid. Mikey, in theory, should have a pretty good laning phase.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you get a couple of levels, you're going to be able to do a fair bit of damage to the Pango.
Yep.
Of course, Quinn, he should be able to deal with it. This man, a bit of a master of the Pangolier.
Yeah.
So, very interested to see how well Mikey is going to be able to do with a hero that could definitely give the Pango a bit of a run for their money in the lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now, he's 4 last hits. Quinn ended up missing 2 under the tower. They're actually 3 under tower, so far so good for Mikey in the first 2 waves. Bottom, we're seeing the creep pulling shenanigans already kicking in. The Celery, he's going to actually take a beating with a range creep on him as well.
It's going to be a fair bit of damage here by Crit. Is it going to be enough for first blood? It's going to be close. He wants to go. Crit.
He had a range creep on him the whole time. He's just beating on him. Yeah, they ended up pulling the wave, and well played by Crit.
Absolutely, yeah. Crit sees the opportunity and goes straight for it.
All right. Celery not respecting that level 1 battery assault with boots. And the range creep that's hitting him literally the entire time during it. Nicely done. So Saberlight's going to be able to deny a good amount of creeps here since he pulled it behind the tower. And Dyrachyo, he did have it into the tower there, so they're actually going to have a, pretty advantageous positioning here on lane for the side of Shopify.
Now, how about this top lane? Is it going to be easy for Arteezy to start off, or should we start seeing a heavy bit of pressure coming in from Tofu and Ace?
Probably around level 3 is when they're able to apply pressure. Enchantress is one of the best lane securers, though, that we've seen. China, especially, is first picking this hero in most situations, and it's done a pretty good job of securing most of these lanes, so we'll see. I think level 3, it's just depending on how that lane positioning is, but maybe he is just going to be okay. Curious to see what build Mikey also goes down as this mid Dawnbreaker. The game that I was looking at in particular, he went a little bit of a carry route. He went for his Desolator and stuff like that, which you could look at. There's definitely some benefits that he could go for something like that, even though they have a TB hard carry. There are some squishy heroes on the side of Gaming Gladiators if he does get an advantage early, so yeah, curious to see what he is going to go down.
Bottom lane. Trying to get on top of Dyrachyo here with the battery assault and the trample, but will manage to get back under the safety of his tower.
This is a very oppressive lane that they're looking to put pressure onto Dyrachyo. We've seen a lot of Primal Beast versus this Nature's Prophet core, so I think that's probably why they went down the route of just swapping things around, having the Dawn go in the mid lane. That's really cool stuff coming out from Shopify. As Quinn also dropping very low.
Yeah, it's just huge amounts of damage, especially when you've got level 4, you've got the, at least a point in all your spells, 2 points in the hammer. You hit the combo. That's a lot of damage, especially for a low HP hero like Pango to withstand in this mid matchup.
And Mikey's always going to be pretty healthy, too. That's the beautiful thing about this Dawn. He goes for Luminosity at level 4, so he's even just getting extra sustain coming in. So, yeah, this we said Mikey should have a very good start here.
Bottom lane.
Levels is big.
This aggression from Shopify Rebellion keeps getting turned up an extra level each and every time here. Now diving under the tower, looking for Celery.
Should be fine this time. He's got the salve as well. Yeah, he's chilling.
Still has to be careful. And of course, one of the benefits of having the Dawn mid, that means that you will have all that solo XP. You're going to get the level 6 online pretty quickly, Solar Guardian, and then it will be kind of tricky for Gaming Gladiators to make moves in the side lanes. There's always going to be the high chance that Mikey can very easily respond with that global.
Absolutely. I think that's probably why they wanted Dawn. That's why they gave that, maybe not gave the Nature's Prophet, but went for this response with it, because you can just, every time an NP makes a rotation with Wrath of Nature, you're likely to be 6. You can just make moves, and you can heal. I mean, sure, it came before the Doom came out, but there's definitely some cool benefits that could come out from Mikey having these levels. I'm really curious to see what build he ends up going down.
I think he'll go for the one
I think he might.
I don't think there's any reason not to.
Yep.
You want to be able to have that sort of damage for the team, especially when you kind of consider what heroes he's going to be making moves with. He's got to be in there and he's got to be hitting hard so they get the kills.
And it's also kind of cool, too, because you want to have this multi-scaling draft, right? When you're playing versus Doom, if TB just gets doomed every single fight, you want to have somebody else who's that backup. So Dawnbreaker, going for this damage build, if he does go down that route, I could absolutely see the benefits for it. So soon, level 6 is going to be coming out for Mikey. Continues to have a very successful laning phase, about 250 gold ahead of Quinn right now. See how aggressive they end up being with that Solar Guardian. Ace, we see up top, he actually has the ice armor, so a bit difficult for them to get too aggressive onto him. They will have a Dispel, of course, from that enchant if they do want to get aggressive onto him, but he can just reapply it right afterwards, so...
Yeah, I think very difficult to kill Ace at this point of the game, even if you look to head up here as Mikey.
He went Vanguard as well, too. So ice armor plus Vanguard, he's got an insane amount of armor.
Yeah, you're not killing this Doom. No. He's pretty much invincible at this stage of the game, Ace.
Same thing on the flip side, though. Saberlight Vanguard's done, and he's actually diving Dyrachyo immediately, and there's the Dawn ult.
We'll try and use it aggressively. You see Dyrachyo and Celery able to get out of range of it, though. Makes it a bit trickier for Mikey to get any sort of follow-up catch with a hammer. They'll turn their attention over towards Celery, and they will settle for the Snapfire underneath the tower. He's trying to bring down Crit with him, but Crit will be fine. I'll send the Treants in as well. Dyrachyo's going to TP back over. He's caught him with the Sprout, but a little too far to be able to reach in and get the hits in onto Crit. So Crit's fine. In fact, Saberlight, he's going to start trampling Dyrachyo once more. Dyrachyo just able to have enough move speed to keep out of the range of it.
This is a big wave.
He's going to be fine.
It's like a triple wave or 2.5 wave here, so they're trying to get the dive onto Dyrachyo early on. Celery's going to come back, though. Crit actually fed the Mango to Saberlight to try to get that aggression onto Dyrachyo, but unable to get a kill. But 2-0 start there for Shopify.
Yeah, first, sort of move, though, from Mikey. Not really ending as sort of positively as he would have hoped for, at least for the time he spends using that ult to go all the way down bottom and then having to make his way back mid. So I could just get the support.
Could be a bit difficult for him. There's just the multiple different displacements when you're playing versus the clocks, versus these Dawns, where it's all about the positioning of where the fight is going to be. It could maybe prove to be some issues for him, as we saw right there with the cookie getting him out of the ult. Looks like stacks are going to start being formed. They're setting up RTZ for when he does have
Mikey.
Mikey, he's very low.
He is incredibly low here.
Dead.
Quinn seeing a very easy opportunity to come out with the Rolling Thunder. And yeah, indeed, sitting around far too low there, Mikey gets caught out. A very easy kill there for Quinn.
Tofu comes in. You guys, thank you for the XP. That was a solo kill, though. Nicely done from Quinn. Very important to see these. I mean, always Pango, I feel like, has these type of games where it's like, yeah, the first few levels end up being maybe a little rough versus the matchup, but then this hero he always gets his items. You always see him get his Arcane Boots, Corrosion, Diffusal, so Quinn off to a fantastic start. Arcane Boots are finished. Now he can look to make rotations very early on, and that's always the scary thing, too, is why we always rate Pango super high as Celery.
Was trying to hover around on the bottom lane, soak up some of the XP as the wave got pushed in, but Saberlight, searching through the tree line, knew that he was hovering around and able to take him down. Back in the mid, trying to go in onto Quinn.
They've got a lift, though.
It's not going to be nearly enough damage, though, indeed, Quinn. He's going to be fine. That's Tofu sat by his side. Bringing more numbers in onto the mid lane, though. Shopify Rebellion, both Crit and Fly starting to hover around this area.
Okay. Looks like Dyrachyo has been pushed out of the lane, though. He is going to be going down that Midas route for the Nature's Prophet. He's got his Wrath of Nature. Level 6 is there, but that just means bottom, Saberlight, he's probably just going to be able to finish off this tower since they did abandon it.
What is the build-up for the offlane Doom when you go for the Vanguard build? Like, is it kind of like the same route as with the Meat Hammer where you go back for the Midas? Do you go back for the Midas after the Vanguard, or do you just skip it completely?
Honestly,
like this?
I haven't seen many people do the Vanguard build, so I'm not really too certain.
What would you like? Do you feel like you still do want to get the Midas?
I mean, most of the situations, yes, but maybe it could be a position where you're playing with an NP going Midas also. You don't want to be too greedy. Ace is a very different style player as this offlaner. He tends to play very much so for the team. So
he's
I could see
Greaves.
I could see Greaves, even Crimson Guard or something like that in this game, just because it's Ace.
Yeah, getting the full auras online here just as soon as he can for the team as the offlane Doom.
Yeah, I could absolutely see something along those lines. And yeah, so the thing I was talking about earlier is why I was talking like the Pango versus this Dawnbreaker matchup is for Dawn, you have to be pretty careful how you do use your Solar Guardian. Not only are you playing versus Rubik, so it can get stolen, but also it's a high cooldown. Level 1 is a 2-minute cooldown compared to Rolling Thunder,
Quinn,
which is 80 seconds. So Quinn
won't quite have enough duration on it at this stage to be able to chase down Saberlight. Was did earlier get the kill there onto Fly and also was able to get the denying on the bottom lane. Overall, very close start. With 9 minutes, 2-3, less than 1k gold between the two teams right here.
Supports at the moment on the side of Shopify are a bit under-leveled, though. I think both level 4, while we look at the two supports on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Tofu's about to hit 6, Celery also halfway there. So they're already making this quick move. Quinn, even though Rolling Thunder's not active, looking for a setup.
Yeah, he's just making moves now, Quinn. Ready to head around the map, get involved in the action. Even at these points where Rolling Thunder is on cooldown, he knows that he should be alone sort of with the swashbuckle, the shield crash, and a +1 or a +2. There's kills to be had here. Quinn's on the hunt.
Ace is all about the aggression, as you were mentioning, right? The Vanguard build, but then also just max Scorched Earth, like Effie was talking about panel, so playing super aggressive. So it should set up Dyrachyo to have tons of space as this Nature's Prophet. I believe his Midas is coming out already.
And actually, it looks like Mikey wants to get the blink first.
Okay.
This game.
Definitely could put him into a position where he could be a little bit fragile versus all the damage that we do see. Gaming Gladiators has a ton of damage early game. Pango, Snapfire, even Rubik. They will be able to apply a lot of pressure with this, so I think maybe he's trying to just salvage and make rotations early on since he knows that Arteezy is going to take a long time to be able to get involved in this game.
Yeah, I mean, on the plus side, what this sort of blink build allows you to do as well, you know, when you're coming in with the Solar Guardian, as you said already, we've seen in Gaming Gladiators, they've got a way to kind of separate themselves where this Dawn is jumping in. You no longer have to use just the hammer to try and get the positioning to get some damage done. You know, you can blink in after you've ulted, close the gap, and then guarantee the fact that you'll be able to pretty much hit your full combo, especially if you're able to get the shard on at the 15-minute mark after the blink.
Yeah. Could be a risky one, though, because if he puts himself too deep into a lot of these situations, he might just kill his own game. So we'll see if it ends up paying off. Right now, still looking pretty good, even though he did die that early time in the mid lane. Saberlight mid, trying to apply pressure. He's also going for an early blink. Just ways to get on top of the Nature's Prophet, too. Celery.
They'll go straight for him underneath the tower. TPs are coming in. Celery goes down. See if Gaming Gladiators can get anything in return. Saberlight with the Pulverize onto Quinn, but Quinn's able to turn with the shield crash. And now with a stolen Pulverize, Tofu gives Saberlight a bit of a taste of his own medicine there. As Gaming Gladiators, they'll be able to punish Shopify Rebellion for being a little too aggressive underneath the tier 1 mid. Another kill for Quinn.
Might be able to immediately go for tower pressure too. And Ace, he's actually just hanging on to Ice Armor. It's a really good grab versus Dawn and TB. They actually don't really have too much damage to go through this at all.
He's super tanky himself, especially when he gets kind of this mech out on top of the Vanguard. Like, he's just going to be able to walk into the middle of these fights and find his Doom target. We'll see over here towards the river in the mid lane. Now coming with the ult, Crip, and he's going to get taken down. Mikey trying to take some kill return, but again with the stolen Pulverized Tofu. A second time he's been able to use it to fantastic results there as he's able to grab him, take down Mikey, and now Tofu charging in. I mean, he's doing more with the Primal Beast spells than the Primal Beast himself.
He sure is, and Saberlight had to cancel. He couldn't actually charge in because he was just going to get doomed if so.
Yeah, Tofu doing some great stuff there on the Rubik. He's having a great time just playing Primal.
This early game pressure, it's going to be difficult to come back with. As we were mentioning, Gaming has a very oppressive lineup that can just apply tons of pressure. And it's going to take Arteezy a lot of time to catch back up. Quinn, he already has Diffusal.
They're stepping it up here. It's speeding up fast. Shopify Rebellion, they've got to do something to slow this down a bit.
This is they wanted to pick the Primal Beast, but the problem with picking Primal into Rubik, we've seen this so many times, his spells are just amazing to steal. Every single one of them, really. And yeah, getting into the enemy jungle, they're even denying this farm away from Arteezy, while Dyrachyo just has free farm. He's just, okay, cool, thanks team. Thank you very much, make all the space for me. And he's gonna have Maelstrom done already.
No, for sure, and especially as they're pulverized in particular. There's a lot of other heroes, right, that have that sort of kind of high-impact ult, but they'll have some sort of toggleable means or something to be able to cover it so you can't get it stolen. Obviously, with Primal Beast, if you sit there and commit with the channeling, it's going to be an easy steal every time for Tofu.
Yeah, this is scary times, really, for Shopify. Since Mikey, his Blink is going to be coming out soon, but 2 times now that he's shown up with his Solar Guardian, and one gets him killed. Well, first one doesn't get anything, second one gets him killed. Hook shot.
See if they can take down Quinn here. They've got him in the combo. They've taken him out. They needed that.
They sure did.
They needed that. They really did. They needed to shut Quinn down. It was starting to become a bit too much of a problem. Tofu is going to be able to hold back Saberlight. That telekinesis stops Saberlight from being able to set up for any action on 20 heroes.
Kisses are back up right now. Are they going to look to defend this? Looks like it's probably just dropped.
Yeah, they bring RTZ in for the push. They know that they have to kind of get the Terrorblade involved now, just so they can alleviate some of this early pressure that Gaming Gladiators put on and be able to just take some objectives back in their favor there. So RTZ realizing he's got to play his part maybe a little bit earlier than he would have hoped to this game.
Great move from Crit, really. Good recognition. Quinn got a bit greedy. He used the shield crash and the swashbuckle on the enemy high ground to clear out that creep wave, so it gets caught and punished from it. Quick movements. You see the smoke coming out from Shopify. They need to make these early moves. They need to just start swinging the map constantly because they know the pressure the game is going to try to apply really early on. Duracho doesn't even have to get involved. He can just throw the Wrath.
I mean, they found Ace.
He's tanky.
He's very difficult to go on. They do try going onto the Doom. The Solar Guardian's going to be coming in, but they're getting solo here on Shopify Rebellion, and indeed Ace, he's still alive. They couldn't kill this Doom. They lose 3 heroes. Celery with the triple. You don't go on the Doom,
You don't go on the Doom.
You don't go on the Doom.
The Doom with ice armor.
And now top part's easy. He's on his own under the tower.
Oh, no.
They're falling apart here as Gaming Gladiators continue to bump up the lead. 15 minutes, we're just 15 minutes in. They're 6K ahead, and it already feels like it's just completely like getting smashed to pieces here, the hopes for Shopify Rebellion in these early moments.
Ace just way too tank. I love that he's kept this ice armor the whole time. We'll see it again. It really felt like they did this perfectly. Like, everyone just does so much magical damage, and he's just so tanky.
I don't think you're ever killing this Doom with these 3 heroes.
No.
You go all in on him, and he's still got at least, about 20% of his HP. And an easy turnaround, and indeed Celery. He's going to be smiling all the way to the bank with the money he's picked up there. Triple kill for him on the snap.
He's actually going for the pipe himself. I mean, they're going to have so many auras.
Yeah, it's going to be early. See what they can do here. Shopify Rebellion trying to go for some action. See if they can at least get Tofu. He's got some stick charges, but Tofu will fall. They get something out of this. Quinn, he's still interested at fighting back. Off from the side, Ace is ready to step over and get involved as Gaming Gladiators, they'll look to be able to take a favorable trade from this by the looks of it. They're trying for Saberlight. They'll get him. Duracho able to snipe him in with the Nature's Wrath. And with the TP over, they get Crit as well. Once again, Shopify Rebellion just not able to find these moves that they're trying for.
And Gaming can keep going. They have Rolling Thunder still. They have, what, I believe the Mortimer's Kisses in about 10 seconds. They're playing super fast. They're reading all the moves. They haven't used Doom yet, Owen. He's level 12 on Ace.
Ace is just chilling.
Yep.
He just stands there, survives. He's unkillable. He doesn't even need the ult.
No, this is...
I mean, with the way that the game's going as well, he's going to be able to treat himself this Blink Dagger very shortly.
Sure.
And then he will also have opportunities to use his ult. So a huge issue, really, this Doom just overall for Shopify Rebellion right now.
Yep. And I love the itemization, too, from Quinn. It's a very standard defusal, but he buys the shard nice and early. So he's got the way to roll up and protect himself from the Solar Guardian if it comes in. And he now also has found, of course, the GG item. He got the Brigand's Blade on the Pango. So
also damage.
Overwhelming damage, as we've seen. Fly, he shows himself top for a second. He's just going to get disintegrated. Oh, boy. This is looking very difficult.
This game's sped up so quickly. I mean, what was it back around, 9 minutes in? It was like kind of even.
Let's take a look. Yeah, I believe it
was.
Net worth. 10 minutes it was even.
10 minutes was pretty much even, but beyond that, it has just been Gaming Gladiators all the way up.
And it's very limited space for Arteezy really to farm because of how fast Gaming's playing. If he shows himself on a lane, they can set up for him almost immediately with the start that Duracho's been able to have. And Duracho, he's been careful. He doesn't even just go the full greed route. Like we see a lot of times these Nature's Prophets, they have a bit of an advantage. They're like, oh, I'm going to go greedy, I'll finish Gladiator. Nope, he gets BKB. So they want to keep playing fast, keep these fights coming to Shopify to give them no space.
Top lane. Duracho seeing if he can get any sort of catch on to Crit. Sprouts down. He's being able to block off his escape. Another one hit for Gaming Gladiators.
Oh, Mikey, 0-3 this game. He's not able to match the aggression.
I mean, we sort of saw the beginning of the sort of the downhill game for him right around those first couple of ultimates with the Solar Guardian. Just wasn't able to make anything happen. Tries to use it aggressively, but pretty much both times, Gaming Gladiators, they were just set to deal with it.
Yeah.
They just never felt threatened at all by the movements of the Stormbreaker.
And now they're just getting too tanky for it. I mean, they've been too tanky, but I feel like every time he jumps in, he's just likely to set himself up for death. Everything's back up. Wrath of Nature's back up in 5 seconds. I mean, Gaming, they barely even need their ults at this point to just run down the side of Shopify.
Yeah, just as a full unit now, they seem kind of impenetrable, Gaming Gladiators, with the items they've got.
Yeah, I think Shopify somehow have to slow the pace of the game down and get these BKBs, but Gaming Gladiators is not really allowing them to slow it down at all.
They're just running at them. As you can see, Quinn getting up to kind of the walls of the base.
So much damage. I mean, Brigand's Blade is so insane on this hero. Just disintegrates a clockwork even. Fly has to TP out at his tier 2 because bottom. I mean, that's what the... Arteezy gets a solo kill on Duracho.
All right. A little bit of something for Shopify Rebellion. They're probably going to need Arteezy to do that a few more times.
Yep, I'm sure most people are looking, they're like, this is a typical Duracho. He always has one of these in these type of games when they're crushing. He tends to have a death like this, but a massive pickup. Arteezy, what, 1,000?
How much gold did he get for that one?
1,100 gold.
All right. A little bit of hope here for Arteezy.
That is a damn pink. I mean, that's pretty much the BKB going to be finished up for him. So a bit of a blessing, but we do see everyone else on their side immensely struggling. And it's not an easy game for Arteezy to do on his own versus everything he's up against, versus the Doom, the massive magic damage, and of course versus Pango with the lucky shot and everything like that too. And Quinn, he's going to have Aghanims any second now, so.
Nice. He's teasing around with them. Crit's going to make the jump over towards Tofu, pushing him back with the cogs. Celery laying down the kisses. Mikey, he will end up getting blasted here by Celery. They'll turn their attention over towards Saberlight as well. There's the lift up from Tofu. Puts the stop to the attempted charge to get away, Saberlight, as it's 2 more dead on Shopify.
Just crazy how fast they're playing. This time, like every single ult pretty much was used for that aggression, but absolutely worth it. They're going to go for a tier 2 even. And now Duracho.
He's going to find Crit.
He might even find Fly. Fly, be careful.
Let's have a look. I'll see the Sprout coming up again in a second, but yeah, Duracho won't try and chase on for it. I'll settle with the farm.
Tier 2 drops mid. That is the Aghanims finished up for Quinn. Also, of course, takes the Shield Crash talent. Level 16 on this Pango. 7, 1, and 10. I mean, this hero, as we've seen so much, just especially when Quinn has it, he tends to have these games pretty often. And they're just feeding him mangoes, making sure he has that crazy game. See the Celery, that is the pipe finished up. So they have so much aura. They're so tanky. They have so much damage.
And they've just, you know, other than that sort of one move from Duracho down bottom where he dies to Arteezy, other than that, they just haven't been getting caught outright. The positioning of Gaming Gladiators as they move around the map has been super hard for Shopify Rebellion to find any sort of chance, really, to catch a hero out on its own.
And Ace, now that he does have his Blink Dagger, he has gone for a different creep, of course. He goes for the War Stomp, and they take 2 towers, the 2 tier 2s, immediately smoke to swing, because their ults are back up.
Oh, Crit. He's turned up at the mid lane. We'll be able to get out of the Sprout. Yeah, this wave's going to get started to start getting pushed in.
They're hunting,
Gladiators, they know that Shopify Rebellion's playing down here.
The line is drawn, though. It looks like Crit is reading it.
Yeah,
Gaming might be able to find someone anyway.
Let's have a look, see who stays around here. Arteezy and Fly.
They see the courier from the Enchantress, so they know someone is probably down here. Tofu's just walking in.
I mean, Tofu's going to just get straight up vision here of Arteezy as he steps in.
Tofu
should die for this, though, as he'll try and force away, but he's still alive.
And
he's not even going to die.
Oh, my goodness.
Tofu's not even going to die. He just walks up, starts the fight. The backup comes in. Shopify take 3, and Gaming Gladiators, they lose no one.
These auras, I mean, the build from Ace is just fantastic this game. Walks in, heals up his body. They even throw the pipe on him just in case to make sure that Tofu doesn't die. This Rubik has been a total menace too.
Yeah, it just really feels like, you know, just 23 minutes in, Shopify Rebellion just unable to catch a break anywhere this game.
It's feeling pretty much impossible for Arteezy to recover.
We'll see again here on this replay. I mean, Tofu
20 HP.
healed up there, and indeed, that certainly is where you feel the pain. If you're Shopify Rebellion in that situation, you weren't even able to get the little old Rubik kill. You didn't get anything.
It's like the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, I mean, Mikey just continues to really be unable to do much of anything this game. He's got a Bastion finished up, but that doesn't feel like it's going to do much. They're showing up bottom.
Let's him.
He's going for the high fives.
See the Solar Guardian coming in. Mikey's in up to the high ground. Pretty good, yeah, 3-man sort of hit there with the stun.
Stolen Solar Guardian.
Oh, indeed. That's going to make sure that Quinn stays up at full HP. Tofu's being focused by Arteezy, and Tofu will get taken down this time round, but Shopify, they've lost 2 heroes for this. Arteezy's a good sunder. Back up to full HP. It's going to turn his attention towards Ace. At the same time, though, Quinn able to fully control Saberlight. Now turns his attention back over towards Arteezy. Everybody is dead on Shopify Rebellion, and Quinn is walking out of there with an ultra kill.
I thought they might call GG right after that one, to be honest with you. Quinn, I mean, even with some of these ultis being down, like the Doom, they didn't have meta. It's like a desperate move for them to try to get some kills back in. They know the state of the game.
I guess on the plus side for Shopify Rebellion, they were trying something a bit different here, right? With the Dawnbreaker mid from Mikey. I could only imagine I think they probably imagined it to have a bit more of an impact against Quinn in the laning stage. You know, they felt that it could maybe slow down the start of this Pango, but it really didn't. No, Quinn was able to find just as much as Mikey from the mid lane. And just little things like that early kill that Quinn gets against Mikey in the mid matchup where Mikey hangs around a little too late. And obviously outside of that, it's Quinn on his Pango.
Yeah.
You know, very few people right now are able to make this man have a bad game when he gets his Pango.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason we don't see Dawn picked every single game and something that there's a reason we see Pango picked literally every game at the moment. This hero is
just absolutely something different,
insane.
you know? Well, so, yeah, already excited to see what they're going to try for in Game 2. Because this Game 1, I don't know if we can get sort of like the Dota Plus win percentage, but I imagine it might be sitting at 0%.
It's at a 2%.
A 2%,
It's pretty much the same, though, as another Killfly shows up. And they're showing for more.
Hey, I tell you what, over to the side, they do get on top of Duracha, but he's able to put the BKB, and Quinn continues over with the Rolling Thunder. See if they can at least get this Nature's Prophet. He cover himself with the Sprout. It's 3 dead. Arteezy goes down. He doesn't have any buyback. Quinn godlike. It's just another cleanup here from Gaming Gladiators. They did lose Duracha this time round. But overall, 4 dead on Shopify Rebellion, 33-9, 26 minutes and 28,000 gold lead.
Quinn is part of 30 of the 33 kills, Owen. I mean,
you can't let this man have the Pango.
No.
I mean, you can't let this man have a fair few heroes. You know, Quinn's pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
But Pango, I feel like this has got to be... It's got to be in like the top 2? What would you put this in terms of Quinn's heroes? Top 3?
Honestly, it might be his best, just because Lesh is not the most prominent hero at the moment. You have to have like a pretty ideal setup. I think Pango you can play in 99% of games, and it's just like, wow, this Pango's owning. So
yeah, Pango does feel good a lot of the times.
Yeah,
and many different sort of games, different sort of strats, and yeah, pretty much always when it's in the hands of Quinn.
Yeah, and I really love how they itemize. I mean, the Pango itemization is all very standard and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love what Ace did.
The Greaves, they got Pipe on Celery because he was having a very successful game. They even buy Drums on Tofu, so it's all these immense auras really start to add up when they get the ball rolling, when they're swinging across map, constantly team fighting. Yeah, Shopify, they just can never take a fight.
No, yeah, it was a real good call from Ace with the build.
Yep.
You know, he knows to... You know, he's not just going to follow kind of the cookie cut. That
Look at Quinn.
Hammer Midas. Yeah, Quinn's just sort of playing around with him on his own here in the mid. Dracho will TP over to help out. As Arteezy's back up to full HP with the stun. They'll borrow some of Fly's HP, but his BKB comes to an end. Mikey's coming in with the Solar Guardian, but it's not going to be enough heals to save Arteezy.
GG.
And they'll call it. GG is called. 27 minutes in, but 39-9, 34k lead. Gaming Gladiators coming into this Dream League are pretty hot.
I mean, Quinn has like 85% kill.